All right, guys, this is where the plot takes a huge turn, okay? We got Sharkboy, we got Lavagirl. They blast through the classroom, and they're like, guys, where's Max? All these kids are freaking out like, oh, I guess he was telling the truth. And like, they're all quiet now. Are they gonna throw trash at Sharkboy and Lavagirl? So after all those shenanigans, Max is thinking real hard about his dreams. He looks like he's about to have a brain blast or something. He's still hungry because he hasn't eaten, so he dreams up a banana split boat so he can eat it or something. Hey friends, it's Casey and you're watching Sassy Grilled Cheese. Today we are watching The Adventures of Sharkboy and Lavagirl. We have to remember that this movie was written by a literal 7-year-old. Yes, that's right. This movie, the story, was written by Robert Rodriguez's son. Did he write the script? No. Robert Rodriguez and his brother actually wrote the script, but all the characters, the story, the world, all the details, that was all made by his son. So when I'm trying to like put together what this movie is about in chronological order, there's a lot of details that don't really make sense. But we got to go into this knowing that, again, the story's by a 7-year-old. There's like other videos on YouTube of people really dogging on this movie. But it's like when you're a little kid and you make a finger painting for your parents. They might love it. They'll say, oh, that's so cute, but it's garbage, right? But you're not going to, as an adult, you're not going to walk up to a kid and go, yeah, your finger painting is bad and art technique. No, you're not, because it was written by a kid. Okay? Is the movie bad? Yes. Does it matter? No. This one gets a pass. Okay? But it's still fun to talk about, and that's why we're revisiting it today. I grew up with it. I watched it in theaters with my sister. I'm not even gonna bother trying to tell you what it's about because I still don't know. So we're gonna figure it out together, okay? So the movie starts off with this quote, and in my head I'm thinking, oh, this must be like a Mark Twain quote, or Abraham Lincoln, or Albert Einstein. No, it's a Lavagirl quote. We start off the movie with Sharkboy's origin story, and he is the son of a marine biologist. And they live out in the middle of the ocean for some reason. Sharkboy, I guess, befriends a bunch of sharks. He feeds them sushi every morning. Like, I'm looking at the movie, he looks like he's skimping onto the sushi, but that's just my opinion. I like how the sharks are patiently waiting for their, like, one piece of sushi. So then there was, like, this storm that destroyed the whole laboratory, separating Sharkboy and his dad. Sharkboy's like, damn, I'm all alone. But is he really all alone? No, he's not, because he's gonna get raised by the sharks. Let me tell you, I was not prepared for the sharks to start talking.
It's Sharkboy. Don't take a bite out of him, boys. He's a friend.
I read that the shark's voice is actually Robert Rodriguez. So I don't really know how these sharks are gonna raise a human child, but they do. Again, logic is not gonna be a thing in this movie. We're just gonna have to accept that. And he's taken to this cave. The sharks are teaching him how to swim and do stuff.
An instinct alone. He grew fins, all sorts of fins.
I'm sorry, what? So the kid that's narrating the movie is Max, who's the main character. He's talking about how he met Sharkboy and Lavagirl, and he was talking about how, like, I guess he was fishing in an ocean or something, and that's how he found Sharkboy, and he seemed extremely unconcerned about the child he literally fished out of the ocean.
He seemed lost.
I'm lost. Where are we? So Max brings Sharkboy home. He just sneaks him past his parents while they're having an argument about dad not getting a job. And Max, I guess, fills up the shower with water and just has Sharkboy swimming in place. I'm assuming mom is never gonna find this out. Sharkboy's talking to Max about this place called Planet Drool, where I guess Sharkboy lives, and it's like this dreamland where kids can just have fun. It's something Max made up. Then we meet Lavagirl, who for some reason doesn't have an origin story. She just shows up in this child's bathroom. Lavagirl tells Sharkboy, like, hey dude, we gotta go back to Planet Drool because the darkness is taking over and stuff. So they run out of the house. Lavagirl's like, hey Max, can you like come help us? Max is like, sorry, I got school tomorrow. So like, I can't, I'm just in the 4th grade. Lavagirl screws up someone's lawn. I'm like 99% sure she could have avoided that, because if she couldn't, she would have burnt down the house. But again, logic doesn't apply here, so it's fine. So at first I was kind of confused at this outlandish story, but then I'm like, oh, okay, Max is telling a story and he's in the 4th grade and he has a big imagination. So that just explains it. It's all made up, right? Wrong, it's not made up. Okay. Anyways, this was like supposed to be a report on like what did I do last summer, because all the kids think Max is weird. They start throwing trash at him and stuff. George Lopez is in this, by the way. He is the single worst 4th grade teacher I've ever seen. He just doesn't know how to control his class.
Someone is picking that up, and it's not gonna be me. How many people think Max's story is true?
I love how George Lopez asked the class to take a vote on how many people believe that his story is true. Like, why are we humiliating this child? Oh, and this girl, Marissa, she sits at the front of the class. She's like in love with Max and she wants to be his girlfriend. So she's the only one who puts up her hand. She supports her man. I like the responses to George Lopez's question. There's one kid is like,
Not true. Made up.
Not true. It's just a made-up story.
So we meet Linus, who is a little jerk and is probably my favorite character in the whole movie. I love Linus. He speaks in this transatlantic accent, and he's also the worst supervillain in history, but we'll get to that. Linus is like being mean. So Linus gets up to give his report, but really it's a way for him to make fun of Max. He like talks about how he met a little superhero called Dork Boy, but they also called him Max or something. And then another thing about them blowing chunks, I don't really know.
We had him for dinner, but he stunk so bad that we all blew chunks.
So Linus is a little bully, okay? And George Lopez decides to fix this by telling them both that they should just be friends because it's a new year, new them, right? And then he makes Max thinks it's his fault because he's the one that's dreaming all the time and he should just try really hard to make friends, even though everybody's making fun of him. But it's all Max's fault. Yeah, seems like a reasonable solution.
What do you have there?
It's my dream journal. Has all my most precious dreams in it. And I'll never part with it for as long as I live.
And I'll never part with it for as long as I live. So when Max walks outside, he notices Linus and his little minion bullies hanging out and they're heckling him. I like how they made the kid on the right have his hair slicked back so we know he's mean. Linus is giving these really lame insults. He drew a picture of Sharkboy getting eaten by eels. And Max gives a solid comeback.
Wow, Linus, your skills are weak.
Yeah, what are you gonna do about it, Linus? Your skills are weak. Boom! The sound effect. So Max really crossed the line this time. Linus tech tips and his minions chase Max around the playground so they can get his dream journal.
Hand over the book.
I love Linus's line delivery so much. So Max gets away and he decides he's gonna climb up the jungle gym, and I'm thinking, Max, like, you could have just ran away from the playground. So Max has a little accident and he lets go of the dream journal. Linus gets it. He says he's gonna make some revisions. He's so mean. So back at home, Max is getting some telepathic messages from Sharkboy and Lavagirl while he's trying to sleep. It's like 4 a.m. He wakes up and notices that there's these Sharkboy footprints. So he follows them into the kitchen and notices that there's half-eaten cookies on the kitchen counter, but they're not like regular half-eaten cookies. They have shark bite marks and there's some hot milk on the table. So who else would it be? Okay, Sharkboy and Lavagirl were there eating some cookies. Dad jump scares Max. He's like, Max, what are you doing up? It's 4 o'clock in the morning. You have school tomorrow. Max is like, I'm sorry. Sharkboy and Lavagirl came and ate the cookies. Mom is pissed because she's like, Max, I made those for your class. Now your class won't be able to eat them and you're not gonna make any friends. Max is like, it was Sharkboy and Lavagirl. I would tell my kid, yeah, right. Yeah, right. It wasn't. You ate the cookies. Go back to bed. I don't know what this contraption is next to Max. I think it's a power adapter, but like extra dangerous or something. Anyways, Max is going to bed, or he's like trying to, but he's just going on about how he wishes he could just leave this planet and go to Planet Drool.
May there be terrible storms, rain, sleet, snow, tornadoes.
Max, go to bed. My parents would beat my ass. Max wakes up. He's disappointed because he's still in the real world. So Dad is eating breakfast with Max. He refuses to get any job that's unrelated to writing, which he hasn't had a job with for like months or something. They're eating breakfast. Dad's showing Max this like unfinished robot that he started on a while ago but never finished. And he's like, hey Max, why don't we finish this? Max is like, no Dad, you crushed my dreams and said it wouldn't work, so I don't want to finish it. Dad is super guilty about that, so he like shuts up. Mom's outside. She notices the lawn is all screwed up. She's like, how did this happen? But yeah, like Mom and Dad are going through this looming divorce and she decides to let Max know this information right before he's going to school. Like, this couldn't have waited a little bit. Poor Max. I just want to give him a hug.
When cold air mixes with hot air, it can form a tornado as the hot and cold chase each other around and around and around.
I'm still not convinced George Lopez is the teacher. He's just really unconvincing. At the start of class, all the kids are coming up with their own superheroes now. We get some really interesting names.
Plastic Boy and Metal Girl. Barf Boy and Vomit Girl.
Barf Boy and Vomit Girl, Jesus Christ. I like how the girl in front of this kid is like, cool.
I'm a teacher, right?
I don't know, are you? Marissa's getting bad allergies from the vent, and Max comes up and is like, hey, do you want to switch seats with me? But is quickly crushed by George Lopez being like, hey, stay away from my daughter. Hot topic, Marissa is George Lopez's daughter. He can make friends with everybody else except for Marissa, okay? So Linus walks in with a big L on his shirt for Linus or something, or loser.
Give me back my journal. Linus took my journal. I did not.
Minus!
Max gets his dream journal back. He finds out it's completely whacked out because Linus screwed it up with some magic marker or Sharpie or something.
He ruined my dream journal. I did not. Mr. Electric, send him to the principal's office and have him expelled.
George Lopez handles the situation poorly. He just talks about how he's the teacher and everyone needs to listen to him. But in the midst of all this, there's like a tornado going on and everyone's freaking out. I don't know if they don't have tornado protocols or something, but George Lopez just tries shutting all the windows as if that's gonna do anything. Like, they don't leave the classroom. They just sit there while there's a literal tornado outside. Max loses his dream journal again and Linus steals it. Just remember this, guys. This is very important. All right, guys, this is where the plot takes a huge turn, okay? We got Sharkboy, we got Lavagirl. They blast through the classroom and they're like, guys, where's Max? All these kids are freaking out like, oh, I guess he was telling the truth. And like, they're all quiet now. Are they gonna throw trash at Sharkboy and Lavagirl? This whole movie just feels like a weird role-playing TikTok. Like, have you ever been on that weird side of TikTok where people just make up stories about themselves? So anyways, they find Max. They're like, hey, you gotta come to Planet Drool because the darkness is taking over and only you can stop it. You, a 4th grader. Sharkboy is like explaining what's going on. He's like drawing on the chalkboard or something. And George Lopez is like, yeah, you better go. You better get out of my classroom with these kids who just destroyed the wall. Marissa's like, yeah, that's my man. So Max, Sharkboy, and Lavagirl, they're going to the rocket ship that's gonna take them to Planet Drool. And there's a sign that says glasses on. And now I remember when we were in the theaters, like, this is where you put the 3D glasses on. This movie, from here on out, is very, very much, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, where they have different effects thrown at the screen because it's 3D.
Do you have another pair of boy goggles?
So Max and the gang, they crash on a Planet Drool, and Max can't remember his supposed powers that he has or his dreams because he doesn't have his dream journal. We also find out that Planet Drool is going to be destroyed in 45 minutes. Lavagirl, I guess, has some sort of crisis on whether or not she's good or bad because she can't remember her origin story or like why she's there or whatever.
Why'd you freeze the ocean? Ow!
Taylor Lautner's seriousness cracks me up. Did you guys remember that Taylor Lautner's in this movie? And he was like 13 in this, like the Twilight Taylor Lautner. It's also worth noting that Planet Drool is made up of all of Max's dreams, so anything that he's ever dreamt of just like showed up in this place. So here's the rundown, and stay with me because it's kind of confusing, but there's this darkness that's spreading across this dreamland, and the more people dream, the less powers this darkness has. So all the children that live on Planet Drool, they cannot go to sleep. The evil overlord is making sure that they stay awake. So they trapped these children on a roller coaster so that they stay awake. So Max, Lavagirl, and Sharkboy, they're like, we gotta save these damn kids because they're stuck on a roller coaster. So they jump onto the roller coaster. It's this whole thing where they stop the car and yeah, they save the kids. So they're trying to figure out who's controlling everything, and it ends up being an archetype of George Lopez as this like electric minion robot called Mr. Electric. And now I am realizing why they chose George Lopez for this movie, because this role is so ridiculous. It could only be played by George Lopez. And I guess it's George Lopez's job to make sure all these kids just stay awake all the time. So he's just in this little control room monitoring whether or not kids are awake. So they confront George Lopez and they find out that he's working for someone else, but they don't know who. We get this fight sequence of all these kids beating up these like magical plugs. Lavagirl is like, Max, use your powers. Max is like, Because he doesn't have his dream journal. So after the Mr. Electric fight, he sends them all to the dream graveyard to like die or something. So all the kids fall in this like conveyor belt looking thing, and it's called the Passage of Time. Everything in this movie is very literal, so just bear with me, okay? Lavagirl's talking about how she doesn't remember who she is. Sharkboy's like has a lot of misplaced anger.
Really thought you were the answer, Max.
Max and the gang are talking on the conveyor belt, and they realize that if they find the journal, then Max will remember all of his dreams, as if that wasn't a given. Apparently the dream journal is in this place up at this peak called the dream layer that they have to get to. So George Lopez is on his computer trying to catch all these children and stuff. When his boss appears, he's like all mad that he was woken up or something. And I love how obvious it is that this is just Linus with a voice disguiser.
Old dreams lie. He could find an ally. I told you, every dream must be smashed. Every child.
It's the transatlantic accent, I'm just saying. Oh, and then Evil Linus talks about how Max is the daydreamer, and if he ever finds out, then that will be like the end of them or something, because he can dream while he's awake. So now George Lopez has to find Max so he doesn't discover his true powers. So the gang are walking around the dream graveyard where all of Max's like forgotten stuff is there, and they come up with this idea that if he goes to sleep and dreams, it might counteract the darkness that's going on. So Max tries to go to sleep. He starts dreaming of cookies because he's hungry, and Sharkboy and Lavagirl are all pissed off about it because they're like, dude, we're about to die. We have like 30 minutes left or however much time. Then Sharkboy offers to beat him up until he's unconscious because he's like really aggressive. So they're in this dream graveyard place, and Max stumbles upon his robot that was unfinished from earlier. You know, the one that his dad was talking about. So the gang starts asking the robot some questions. Lavagirl's asking about where she comes from. Sharkboy's asking if he's king of the ocean, and Max is asking how it can save Planet Drool. Sharkboy continues to be aggressive.
You mean if I put him to sleep, he'll dream inside of this mess?
So the robot says that they all have to go to the land of milk and cookies, so that way Max can dream of good dreams. All the kids ask if the robot can take them there, but robot's like, I don't have a body. And they're like, oh, well, your eyes and mouth move, so can't you just use that? I don't know, his eyes and mouth levitate and they just take him there. Wait, is this voiced by George Lopez too?
The train of thought gets easily distracted. Stay focused, and it'll speed you directly to the...
Yeah, the robot is voiced by George Lopez. So nice robot George Lopez tells the kids that they have to get on the train of thought, very literal, I know, and then the train of thought will take them to the land of milk and cookies, and then they will get where they need to be. So they jump on the train, and the train's whacking out because they don't know how to drive it because they're a bunch of kids, so they just jump out of the train.
I stepped in chocolate.
I don't really remember what happens in the scene. I think that Max is like trying to eat some chocolate. They're like, okay, you know, try going to sleep. They're sitting there, they hear the ground thumping. And I guess because Max dreamed up some giant cookies, for some reason is going to create some giant monsters that are going to have to eat the cookies, I guess.
If you dream giant cookies, something has to be created to consume giant cookies.
What does that even mean? So out comes a version of Mom and Dad that are cookie monsters, and they want to eat the cookies. Max talks about how the giants look a little bit like his parents and that they seem happy. So I guess he was dreaming this up because he wants his mom and dad to like each other. So Max trying to go to sleep. Taylor Lautner's trying to sing him a lullaby so that he can go to sleep faster, because I guess Lavagirl sucks at singing.
Dream, 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 dream.
So this number is iconic. He's like super flippy.
Just relax, lay about, or my face will put you out. Dream, dream, dream.
He like starts off the song kind of nice, but it's like also aggressive. And I guess throughout the song, he gives Max a nightmare. So Lavagirl uses her like lava powers to wake him up. Aw, look how flippy he is. Did Taylor Lautner do his own stunts? I need to find out. Hold on. Taylor Lautner did all his own stunts. He was flipping around like Flippy in real life. I am so proud of my boy, Jacob from Twilight. Yes, I did my own stunts. When you see me doing the karate stuff and the fighting, that's what I do. So Max wakes up. George Lopez has his like pack of dogs and stuff. So he like orders the dogs to attack him. They're all fighting and stuff, but for some reason, like, their powers are starting to weaken. Sharkboy is doing his flippy thing again. Now that I know that it's real, I mean, I'm very impressed. Max takes a shot at punching one of the electric dogs and he gets electrocuted. I want to talk about the unnecessary stylistic choice of Lavagirl turning into lava, where she's like this pile of lava, but then her head is just sticking out of the top. Hey guys! So after all those shenanigans, Max is thinking real hard about his dreams. He looks like he's about to have a brain blast or something. He's still hungry because he hasn't eaten, so he dreams up a banana split boat so he can eat it or something. Now we're on the stream of consciousness. Stream of consciousness. So the kids are all talking. Max is trying to explain to him what he was dreaming about, and he's like, "Oh, I can't put together the words. Let me draw something in the boat." And he draws a heart. Like, he couldn't just say, "I dreamed of something that was shaped like a heart." And then they would have thought about the ice crystal that they went on about. Whatever. They figure out that they have to get this like ice crystal thing that's in the ice castle because it can freeze time and everything, and that will stop the darkness. Lavagirl's really jealous of the ice princess because she's ice and Lavagirl is fire, so they must be enemies.
But I know we don't get along. How do you know that? I'm fire. She's ice.
And then not a second later, they get to the ice castle. I just like how they always end up where they need to be. Like right away. They get to this ice bridge that is in front of the ice castle. They go to cross it. Max and Sharkboy are crossing it just fine, but Lavagirl, her feet are made out of fire, so she can't. So she's thinking, hey, what if I sleepwalk? Because when I sleep, I guess it turns off the fire or something. So she closes her eyes. She immediately falls asleep. I mean, immediately. Like, takes no time for her to fall asleep. Lavagirl is sleepwalking. Georgie and the electric dog show up. Max and Sharkboy are like, oh my god, she needs to hurry up. She needs to, like, get a move on it. Sharkboy wakes her up. Lavagirl's all pissed off because he woke her up. She chases him. The bridge collapses, but it's like, okay, because they made it to the other side. But it doesn't matter because George Lopez shows up out of nowhere and captures the kids, takes them to Linus. So look, I know that that was kind of a spoiler that Linus Tech Tips is the big mean guy. It was just so obvious, but here's the scene where we find out, plot twist, that Linus is the bad meanie, okay? Like, he has them all captured. Linus whips out this picture of Sharkboy on top of some eels, just like the one from earlier in the movie, and these eels just kind of show up out of thin air. So Linus has all the power. All he needs to do is just draw up some stuff, put it in the dream journal, and it appears in Dream World, okay? You guys with me? You guys following? So while the kids are captured, Linus Tech Tips is going through his dream journal to tell everybody, like, what's going on? What's the 411? He tells Sharkboy that his dad is at the bottom of the ocean. He tells Lavagirl nothing about her. He just says that when the darkness takes over that she'll lose her powers, and she's like, what powers?
What powers?
Girl, you what do you mean what powers? You shoot lava out of your hands. Like, I don't understand. He then tells Max that he's gonna show him what a real nightmare looks like and that he's gonna rule the world. Then he puts him in a cage and takes a nap. Let me just tell you, Linus, he takes naps, and that's how he takes over the world. He goes to bed, he dreams up some things, and they get surprised when things don't go his way after he wakes up. So Sharkboy, Lavagirl, and Max are all stuck in a bird cage. Sharkboy and Lavagirl, they are losing their powers, and it is just not the vibe they were hoping for. They're losing time, and the world's about to end. But don't worry, because a bunch of magical singing bubbles come, and the singing pisses off Sharkboy so much that he goes in a rage and destroys the cage. The cage didn't matter. It's fine. So what happens next? The kids sneak up to Linus while he's taking his little nappy, and they steal the dream journal. And that's it. That's it. They have it. Oh, and Linus sleeps with his eyes open. So Max is on cloud 9 now. He has his dream journal back. He starts remembering things, and he just like makes whatever he wants appear, but it's like not 100% yet for some reason. It's just stuff that's already in the journal. So Sharkboy finds out that his dad is at the bottom of the ocean, but like there's more context. Like, he's in a submarine finding his son. So it's fine. Like, Linus was just leaving that detail out. So Max is looking for information about Lavagirl because again, we don't know what the hell she comes from. And Lavagirl's really impatient about it. She takes the dream journal and she like just destroys it. I'm the problem, it's me.
But everything I touch, I destroy.
Literally me. Not only is Lavagirl upset that everything she touches just is destroyed, she's also mad at Max for making her part lava. She just like doesn't get it. And then she also starts going on about how she doesn't understand why Sharkboy and Lavagirl are a duo because she's fire and he's water. And then somehow this conversation immediately transitions into them needing to find the crystal heart and that they have 10 minutes to save the world. So George Lopez wakes up Linus and tells him that the kids escaped and that his book is gone. And then Linus is like,
Shut it down. Shut it all down now.
shut it down. Linus tells George that he basically needs to go kill Sharkboy and Lavagirl. The kids run right over to the ice castle. Like, remember what I said about them just showing up at their destination? I'm not really sure how they got there because the bridge is destroyed, but whatever. We're just going to go with it, okay? So they get in there. They're going down like this slide mechanism thing, and they see the ice crystal just hanging out at the top of this peak. So they're like, all right, let's go get it. So Sharkboy is trying to get it, and oh, also, if you touch it, you'll like freeze instantly or whatever, because Max saw it in his dream. Sharkboy is on the struggle bus trying to get the ice crystal, and then Max gives Lavagirl some ice to chew on.
Chew on some ice. It'll keep you cool.
Okay, here's some ice. So Maxie decides to give it a shot. He climbs up the pillar, picks up the ice crystal thing with some gloves. Then he drops it. Then Lavagirl, as self-destructive as she is, she just runs up and catches it. Like, didn't he not just say like a minute ago that if you touch it, you'll literally freeze? Why are you like this, idiot? We got some ice cube monsters that decide to just wake up. I guess that there was some delay in the alarm system. But they take the kids over to like a dreamland version of Marissa, who is the ice princess. They got Marissa iced out with some kind of Star Wars crown. Max is like, oh, that's what she looks like with glasses off. Marissa's like, bro, why are you stealing my ice crystal? Like, not cool.
You try to steal the crystal heart. Why?
And Max is like, dude, we need it to defeat Linus Tech Tips. He's like taking over the world. Okay, guys, so this is one of those parts in the story that is incredibly confusing, so just bear with me, okay? Because I struggled writing this in the script. So Marissa is like, y'all are a bunch of idiots. The ice crystal only works if I use it. So basically your friend turned into ice for literally no reason. Wait, is the voice George Lopez again, but just pitch shifted?
Then come with us.
She can never leave this castle. The crystal is the only thing that protects our kingdom.
Anyways, Ice Cube George Lopez is like, she can't leave. Point blank, end of story, no questions asked. So wait, I hope you guys are still following me. So Marissa says, hey, what if I give you the ice crystal? Yeah. And then you can use it. Okay, but wait, I thought you said only you could use it. So how does that work, right? We're getting to that. I'm like looking back at my notes because again, this is just confusing as hell. So Marissa says that the crystal that they stole was a decoy, and then like all of these pillars start showing up, and Marissa's like, all right guys, pick one, and that's the real one, because the one you have is a decoy. But then Max is a little smarty pants, and he notices that Marissa is wearing an ice crystal around her neck, and he's like, nice try. Nice try. You almost pulled a fast one, but I would like the one around your neck, please. She's like, okay, boo, you can have it, but if you lose it, I'm gonna whip your ass because my kingdom will be destroyed. And I guess this crystal is different because when he touches it, he doesn't turn into ice. So, like, again, I don't understand. So here's where I thought that plot gap would be filled, right? George Lopez, Ice Cube guy, is like, I'm gonna start giving you these vows that sound like marriage vows.
Heaven to hold, in sickness and in health, till death do you part.
I do.
Do you trust him with your heart?
I do.
Which I assumed while watching this that is going to transition the power over to Max so that he can use the ice crystal, right? You get what I'm saying? Then when they leave the castle, they're just like dragging Lavagirl across the iced out ocean. I'm also surprised they didn't ask Elsa version of Marissa if they could like reverse Lavagirl being frozen into ice, but like they didn't even bother. They just kind of forgot about her. And at one point they're riding her as a bike. Lavagirl tries to say something, but Sharkboy just ignores her. So they're like standing in front of the dream lair. They got, what, 10 seconds until the world ends. Max whips out the crystal and he tries to use it, but it doesn't work. Okay, and then here's where I am legitimately confused. Lavagirl defrosts herself somehow, right? I don't know, whatever. She could have done that a while ago, but she's doing it now. Anyways, she defrosts herself and she's like, hey guys, I was trying to tell you that the ice crystal can only be used by the ice princess. Wait, but I thought we covered this.
It's not her fault her father won't let her leave her castle. Boo-hoo.
I guess the vows thing just made no sense. It just didn't, it didn't matter. She just wasted their time. Kids movie, kids movie, kids movie, kids movie. Also, Drewland doesn't really change, except that I guess their powers are a little bit limited, and then Sharkboy's PDA looking thing doesn't work. So I guess the Wi-Fi is just out. I don't know. I guess the darkness is just more powerful now. Some kind of lake thing shows up in the iced out ocean. It's supposed to be a trap for Sharkboy, I guess. That's what Lavagirl says. Lavagirl's like, don't do it, Sharkboy. Don't get in there. It's a trap. And Sharkboy's like, I can't control my instincts. And he jumps in. He swims up to the end of this little thing that showed up. And who is there but robot George Lopez holding a bucket of eels. And he dumps the eels in this thing. Lavagirl's like, swim faster, Sharkboy, swim away. And I'm thinking like, Sharkboy, like you could have just swam to the side and gotten out that way. But I don't know. I don't know. See what I mean, guys? It's very confusing. So the eels get him. He falls down to the bottom of the ocean. Lavagirl's like, I can save him. Max is like, no, Lavagirl, you're gonna die too. And then Lavagirl's like, oh, but he's my best friend. She dives in, sacrificing herself, and pulls Sharkboy out and saves his life. I don't know why he did that to begin with. Like, you play dumb games, you can win dumb prizes, you idiot. So, I don't know. They're both dying at this point. Max is traumatized because he's watching his imaginary friends die. The robot head comes back. I forgot he existed. And he asks Max, what are you gonna do? Max is like, I don't know, maybe take a nap. Dream a better dream. That's what he says. He says, dream a better dream. He goes on to say that all of the dreams that he has come up with were selfish. He was using his dreams to escape from reality, which is a bad thing, apparently. Nice robot George Lopez is like, correct. Your dreams are selfish. Dream better dreams. And he disappears. That's it. That's all we see from him. He's gone. Bye, bitch. Sharkboy randomly wakes up and then a volcano just appears behind them. And Max is like, oh, we gotta take her there and throw her into the lava. That'll wake her up. Cool. Okay. So Sharkboy takes Lavagirl and he's running really fast. While Sharkboy's running over there, Max is like suddenly remembering what Lavagirl does, like what her point is. And he says that she's light, which I guess means she makes the light in the sky. Okay, so turns out Lavagirl is gonna be the one that's going to defeat the darkness because of her light. So Sharkboy is running up. He just kind of drops Lavagirl into the volcano, and the way that he just like drops her in there just like is hilarious to me. Lavagirl blasts out of the volcano and she tells Sharkboy to buzz off. Lavagirl's blasting light into the sky and Georgie's all mad about it because his plan is foiled. All of a sudden, Max has superpowers now. I guess that's because the darkness is gone, but we get no explanation or transition into that part. He just has superpowers now. He runs really fast and he can do whatever he wants. Sharkboy is like, hey, can you like unfreeze the ocean and give me a shark army, maybe? And Max is like, yeah, sure. And he just does it. And that's it. And Max runs up to Linus to beat him up in the same spot Linus has been in the entire movie. Man, I tell you, it's about to get real, okay? Linus is swinging around his cape. Max is like, I'm the daydreamer. And Linus is like, whatever, man. I read your stupid book. I know all your dreams. So I guess they're like on the same playing field or something. And I just realized that Linus has been chilling out in a giant bed this entire time. That's what they're standing on. They're standing on a giant bed. Oh my god. So Linus and Max are having what's basically a Pokemon battle where they are the Pokemon. These moves are crazy. Max is like swinging around his arms and blowing out butterflies. Linus opens his mouth and wasps come out. Sharkboy brings his newly formed shark army to George Lopez and the sharks just start tearing him apart. I think that the sharks are my favorite CGI, and the fact they just jump out of the ocean and stand up like humans. Max and Linus are still going at it, and eventually Max is like, dude, you're being a jerk, okay? You need to be nice, and we need to be friends. This doesn't have to happen. And Linus is like, all right. And he tries to shake Max's hand, but then the bridge that he created collapses. Linus is full on freaking the fuck out. But they land on the giant bed, so it's all fine. Max tells Linus again to stop being a little and he's like, all right, cool, we're done. It's fine, I'm just changing now. Lavagirl comes cruising back in, thanking Max for making her light, and I have to revisit this again. Where does she come from? There is no way Lavagirl just kind of showed up in this kid's bathroom. But like we just don't revisit that, and that bothers me. I want to know where Lavagirl comes from. Whatever. I love how Linus just decides that none of this is worth it. He's just like, everything will go back to normal. Sharkboy can look for his father, and Lavagirl can rule Earth's lava world.
You can search for your father. You can rule Earth's lava world.
And what am I to do?
Linus tells meanie George Lopez that he has to go be the electrician again, and George Lopez does not like that idea. Somehow George Lopez has an atom bomb that he's gonna use on Earth. He like doesn't use an atom bomb. It doesn't like, this doesn't come back up, okay? I don't know. Linus tells Max that he's been daydreaming this entire time. So basically Max has just been tripping for the last hour. Lavagirl tells Max that he has to blink 3 times to get back to the other world. So he blinks 3 times and he wakes up in the classroom where the tornado is still happening. So we're back on Earth. There's still a tornado going on, but it turns out that George Lopez is the one causing the tornado. Teacher George is confused and doesn't really react.
It's Mr. Electric from Planet Jewel, the one from my dream.
The only thing he says is that he's offended that Max dreamt him to be a bad guy. Okay, Georgie, but he also dreamt you to be a really nice robot and also an ice cube guard. Okay, so mom and dad are looking for their kid outside in the school, but there's a legit tornado going on, so that was not a very good idea. Dad grabs onto a tree. Mom is legit getting sucked off by a tornado. And they're having like this semi-sweet moment saying like, the mom's like, I thought you wanted to leave me. And the dad's like, no, I don't. But then she gets sucked off by the tornado. Lavagirl saves her. Dad gets sucked off by the tornado next, but then Sharkboy saves him. So all is well. George Lopez is asking a bunch of 4th graders what they should do. I think step 1 is to go to a shelter, maybe. But again, I mean, we're not doing that. But yeah, he's like asking these 4th graders that they need to be the ones to defeat the evil version of himself in the sky. Linus volunteers himself, but it doesn't work out. I like the nice try in the background. If you guys remember, Linus stole Max's dream journal and it was in his back pocket. So the electricity that hit Linus also destroyed the dream journal, but Max is like, whatever, I don't need it. I can dream with my eyes open. He's a pro dreamer now, guys. So Linus throws out this idea that they could use ice to short circuit Mr. Electric or something. And Max is like, oh, that's right. Marissa, you could probably help because you were Elsa from Frozen in the other world or something. So Max pulls out an ice crystal out of his pocket, you know, the one from the Dreamland. We're not really gonna question how it got there. I mean, he probably just dreamed it again or something. He's the daydreamer, remember? But he gives it to Marissa and he's like, girl, you know how to use this? And Marissa's like, yeah, boo, I saw it in a dream once. So she knows exactly how to destroy a robot version of her dad. Georgie's like, no. Do not send my daughter out there. You will not do that. Max is like, yes, I will. And Georgie's like, okay. So then Marissa takes off her, oh, I'm just not gonna do that again. So Marissa takes off her glasses and she just destroys him. She just uses her ice powers and destroys him. I almost broke my glasses doing that. So, and during the epilogue, I'm a little confused as to how much time has passed because for one, the classroom wall is fixed. It's fixed. Maxie is given his presentation and it almost sounds like it's next year, like the what I did over the summer type of report, but he references the events that happened yesterday.
The following story is true. It might have started as a dream, but as we saw yesterday. So
I guess this all happened yesterday and everything is just back to normal. Linus draws a picture of Mr. Positive. In Max's report, we find out Sharkboy is king of the ocean and Lavagirl is queen of the lava world on Earth. Max is finishing his robot and I'm assuming that mom and dad aren't getting a divorce anymore. The end. All right, guys. Great movie. Great movie. I'm just gonna do a quick little tidbit here because I'm gonna be honest with you. I gotta move on from this project. I've been working on this for like a week. I can't believe Taylor Lautner did his own stunts. I still can't believe that is Taylor Lautner. He was 13 years old in this, And in Twilight, he was like 15. He was 15 years old in Twilight, guys. Crazy, mind-blowing. Also, should I do Twilight? Let me know in the comments. Let me know what I should do next in the comments, okay? Let me tell you, look, I probably noticed a jump cut with me, with these movies just kind of like randomly appearing in the background. I took a break halfway through filming and I got some movies. Like some of you are not gonna hear about this, but like I got the complete first season of Glee. So like, I don't know, maybe we'll do a watch through of this beauty. I'm sure that aged well. High School Musical. I haven't seen this in like 10 years, I think. We have Camp Rock. I loved this movie when it came out. It was like 2009, I think. But I've seen other people review this and it is a glorious pile of garbage. So the Bratz movie, also heavily reviewed on YouTube, but I had to. I got this a week ago. This has like a collection of movies. So we might do that. Sleepover, maybe. We also have like What a Girl Wants. So yeah, let me know what you want to see, because I'm down for anything. I'm probably gonna be filming that at some point this weekend or maybe this week, but I gotta finish this one first. Thank you all so much for watching this video, guys. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. I have loved the support in the comments at every video that I've had. It has been great. I am just so appreciative of some of y'all coming and watching my video. And it means the world to me. So thank you. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.